Hello everyone, welcome back. Match number 3, map number 2 about to get started here. We do have Morph leading 1-0 in our upper bracket round 1 over Team MiTH Attitude. It's going to be going over to Split. We're going to have Morph on the defense here, so maybe they can take the 2-0 here early on. I'm Seeking Strike. Right next to me is Hound, and we'll be bringing you the action for this match. Over to Split here, as we'll be loading in quite soon, but what's your opinion on Split? I've heard Gideon's. I think we've all heard Gideon's opinion on this map, but where do you stand? Where do you stand on it?
I'm a little bit so about it personally. Not one of my most favorite maps, to be honest. Not one of my most favorite maps. I personally for me, I really do enjoy Haven a little bit more.
All right, yeah.
It kind of gives a little bit more options for I think attackers and defenders, in my opinion. It really depends on the. I really like to see a lot of these retakes, and Haven is, I think, one of those places that actually has quite a very interesting retake mechanic behind it, right?
Yes.
But the thing I feel that's a little bit sucky about Haven is that, you know, it doesn't have that much opportunities for it. But we're not talking about Haven anymore. We're going to be going into Split. Excuse me. So this is going to be a very interesting choice here in terms of watching what Morph and MiTH is. Just do remind me a little bit who is going to be on defense.
Should be Morph on the defense here.
So
they're starting defense. I always like to say 5 rounds is what you're looking forward to, rather, on the attacking side. If you can get 5 rounds in your pocket, you set yourself up very nicely for the second half. It's important that you don't go down too much, right? You need to give yourself at least a few rounds to lose when you switch over to that defensive side here, in case you are Morph, because then your enemies rather can kind of just choke you, very slowly choke you out with the eco, right? So that's something to be aware of here. But we'll take a look at our lineup, as we do now have that Brimstone actually coming through from Morph on the defensive side. The Sage as well making an appearance. Sage, Raze, as well as our Jet. So no flashes here. Actually, no flashes at all for Team Morph. So I think this seems to me... Oh, wow. Look at that aggressive little play there for now chasing out. As nice job there by Pacifan, able to use the jetpack to bounce on out. As MiTH, they have taken the site. Very aggressive out of the gates, quite literally. Really quick there to finish my point. Morph, they're not going to do too hot here on the attack. That's something to really keep in mind. Whereas, actually, no flashes at all.
No flashes at all, but...
Actually,
You do see that both of them actually pick up the Sage here, so there is going to be very... oh wait, but before that, Fidel will be able to take down onto the Love family, goes immediately for the defuse here. Very good stuff being shown for Patipad, but it's not going to be enough. MiTH, one last member standing at defenders, will be able to win out. Very nicely done from the side of Morph here, getting it, but it's going to be Famous that gets taken down very cheekily by New Gen.
Yep, right there. Exit frag during the eco round doesn't really matter. But hey, it's nice to have that 200 in your pocket, as well as getting to feel good there, getting that exit frag. Cud, again, going to be going for this Marshall. Again, I need to come up with a better name. You know, the glass cannon is going to be a jet without armor. I don't know what you call a jet with armor, but with a Marshall. Maybe like a bit of a pea shooter there, right?
Yeah, a little bit of a pea shooter, a tank that shoots maybe peas, I suppose. I mean, not entirely tanky, but you know, you get the idea. Okay, but looking at it here, I think the biggest thing about Split is mainly the mid control and how the Sages on each side will be able to delay quite a bit. And look at this already. Look at this Morph.
Yeah, they're daring anyone to jump on top of that wall. Cud, is he going to get baited? There's the Tart covers. They take their knives to it. Cud, he's going to find one before he's sprayed down. Fidel only gets another one. I thought maybe they're just going to go for a just full savage knife rush there. Just keep on going through. But in the end, it's going to be Morph still with the defender's advantage. The spike is getting planted here. B again. They forgot to clear back of sight, and they're going to be punished heavily for that one, Hound.
Very nicely done here from from Morph. 2 rounds in their pocket already will definitely be very precarious for members of MiTH. With 2 rounds behind, it definitely creates this slight economy difference here between Morph and MiTH. Considering that Morph were able to win those 2 rounds very convincingly, they will be able to push it out, especially since the anti-eco round was so effective against members of MiTH. And we do see that everyone will be able to go for the full buy. Maybe there's going to be a mixed buy here from Morph compared to MiTH.
They don't quite have enough there to upgrade. I'm always really interested in seeing teams' reactions. I think on normal maps, you don't really mind not upgrading your Spectres because you need that second or maybe even third round bonus. But on a map like this, where you kind of need this round on defense, we'll see here. Morph, again, we see them play incredibly defensively. They don't have any interest in defending this beat take, as Nugent will be able to punish Fat Penguin, who was peeking over from the rafters.
Alright, so we do see here coming in from Cut, Morph right now may actually go into a very interesting spot as he decides to go to his tower.
Again, look at this. Look at even where the enemy Sage is located as Morph. Now they're going to go for the retake. A great wall, though, will keep that enemy Sage outside of sight here for a little bit longer, as you say, let me in, let me in! I'm supposed to be on the other side of this thing now, as she will now get the entrance onto site, finds the kill onto one. Famous as well with the explosive pack. We'll be able to blow up Boom Barappa, but Parafen is going to be able to delete that Sage, who was now trying to flank. Now it's down to the 2v1.
2v1 here, and not going to be enough for Morph, as a MiTH will be able to take this round away. 3 rounds in as we go into round number 4. Finally, MiTH will be able to get their first win.
Maybe that's how you counter this sort of retake strategy. Get a Sage. Because honestly, I didn't really think a Sage on attack was all that good. This map, of course, withstanding, but usually you see it for the control mid, right? Never would I think that they would know that there's an enemy Sage down that hallway, wall her off, focus on the rest of the team, and then end up winning the round. Now you can see it's a mixed buy coming out here from the side of Morph. We have a few weapons as the knives coming all around here. But yeah, I think there's a few Buckies, plenty of pistols, a Frenzy here for Fat Penguin, but MiTH should be set to win this round here. Again, it is going to be split, so we could see some shenanigans, but it seems to be, again, that B rush with MiTH have favored thus far as they kick it off now with the Guardian, getting that 2-tap now onto Fat Penguin.
Fat Penguin tastes a little bit of the Guardian here, as Morphs are famous right now with the Bucky. Is going to be not going to have that much in terms of range. Decides to go for the paint shells.
He does have that showstopper though, Hound. You got to be careful for that.
Oh yeah, he does. And that's something they have to be very wary of here, especially considering that if they decide to get very, very clumped together. I do like the fact that they are going to be rushing. They might actually go for this retake onto B. And this is where most of the fights may actually slow it down. Patiban decides to go for the paint shells, slows down members of MiTH by quite a bit. There goes the smoke, as well as the wall, like you said, the aggressive play, how do I say this? Oh wait, but before that, though, Famous gets taken down.
But they need to start defusing now, though. That bomb continues to accelerate. They're not going to get the chance, as MiTH will equalize your 2 apiece. The eco damage, oh, that's a bit better for them now, as we will have to rebuy on the Jet, but still a very big win there. Now it's going to be the Jet operator as well, coming through from Nugent on the attacking side. We've seen some very aggressive plays out from previous Jet operators, especially on this map. RB rather, on Vision Strikers is very, very well renowned for this. He is going to start running up your A ramp and find picks on Heaven, only to then back off and do the same in B site. So we'll see how they're able to use this a bit of aggressiveness coming through from Cud.
Yeah, so when I look at it from this point of view, right, I did like the fact that MiTH actually used the Sage wall in a very aggressive manner to stop the push. It's very anti-push, right?
Yeah.
So it actually slows them down by quite a bit, and also because of the sound cue that comes, it actually reveals quite a lot for MiTH to basically hold on to some of these angles and readjust. But looking at how Morph has been doing here, it could be a very interesting game because it's going to be 2 for 2 thus far. We'd like to see how Morph try to steal this a little bit ahead.
They looked away too quickly. Wow, Fidel's going to get 2 before being picked off there by Nugent. A very, very big win there, but it's already popped off there. 3 dead on the side of MiTH versus the 2 for Morph, as they will not be able to force them outside of the Heaven. But the spike actually being rotated on through. Raze is not going to find anyone here on their long journey out from A through now B markets into low and mid site, and the bomb is being rotated over here. Brimstone could be very, very caught off guard. I don't think he's going to expect to be coming from defender spawn.
30 seconds
this
left.
is going to be something of a wildcard here from the side of
Heaven,
MiTH.
that could be a problem.
Towards A.
I'm surprised they're not sending anyone to clear out heaven. Everyone's still just holding their ground. They've completely relinquished. Look at this. No one contesting the sites right now, Hound. No one contesting them at all.
I am just as confused as you are, to be honest. New Gen as well
10
as
seconds left.
Boom Barappa have been able to move to A
Spike
without any kind of punishment, without any kind of contention, and this immediately is very, very bad for the side of Morph here, mainly because that yes, they do have the 3-man advantage over members of MiTH.
Look up picture. Everyone's walking. The bomb's planted. Put a pep in your step, boys. Let's get moving here. But no, they're playing it slow, calm, and patiently. As the 2 members from MiTH are going to rotate into heaven, this is where it might be popping off as the Raze ulti will be used. But Famous is not going to scout anyone to use this on. They're going to shoot it over there. That's going to let them know there's not anyone there. But New Gen lets the presence be known by finding the trade onto one. It's down to the 1v1 scenario. And Boom Barappa able to clutch this one out. What a round!
I don't know about you, but Boom Barappa just clutched it out just by an inch there. Luckily enough, Morph took a little bit too long to get there. I don't understand what was taking on. We did see them play rather slow in Haven, but they can't do the same kind of strategies here.
Yeah, I'm surprised because to me, one of the hardest things about this map, yes, is the mid control, but also generally it's just really, really hard to take a site. Like, it's hard for both sides, right? We saw that obviously play out there, but if you just relinquish control of the sites, I think this map is not going to be the easiest for you because there are so many angles that you can get advantageous peaks. Maybe you can even get a 2v1, so many 90-degree angles that you're not going to be able to check perfectly there. Even, pardon me, MiTH started off that round by losing 2 people to the Sage there and still ended up winning.
This is a very interesting choice here for Morph to actually get this wall off and basically wall off Garage, and I think that is I don't think it's the most efficient way because they'll be able, it doesn't slow them down by that much, to be honest.
A-rush. Yeah, they're already upside. They're going to be real loud and obnoxious about this one. It's the Molly straight into the cluster nades as well, as that's not going to be a very happy race. Getting healed up by the Sage, so they know one is going to be Rafters, is in through A main. They go, cut it over to B. The Sage is like, all right, I guess I'll come over, but in the meantime, Morph are able to melt 2. They're on eco here, so a 3 versus 2 is actually pretty advantageous for them. This New Gen will be able to finally pick off that race.
New Gen picks up Famous, nicely done, as we do see the Cypher is going to be uploading as, it's going to be the Love Family that takes it down. The Love Family with 4 on to Fidelwov, his final kill for this game, as we do see 2 rounds in favor of MiTH. If this keeps up, we could have our first third game of the day.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to criticize this early Morph, of course, on the eco as well that time, but I think they need to dig themselves in here a little bit more, be more willing to stand their ground and delay the pushes here. They've got a much better lineup to do it this time alone with the Raze and the Omen, and especially the Sage. I don't think that they should be so willing to give up these sites. That's where, I'm telling you, that's where a lot of the strength here comes from. That mid control, yes, of course, but also just holding sites and being as annoying as possible, letting those rotations come in, and then trying to get a 2-pronged attack onto your enemies. If they just let this go too easily, I could really see this one slipping away in the defensive half, which is never something you see.
I find it really sad here from the side of Morph. They were able to win the first 2 rounds. However, MiTH have been 4 in a row thus far in terms of round 1. So I think this could be putting a bit of a hamper for the side of Morph. They did come off from that eco round. It is not going to be the strongest kind of economy coming in from Morph, but they will be able to at least buy it out here for at least the next few rounds. For MiTH, however, I'm pretty sure that they are doing pretty well in terms of the economy.
This is 4 straight for them, so they got plenty of money in the bank right now. Morph unable to really find too much eco kills, too much damage. As I like that little play, just getting a little boom buddy, give them a little bit of a trampoline as they will start rotating people over. 45 seconds left. It's quite a small map here, so we could still see a rotation towards A, possibly as the Omen lurking on through. Yeah, mid lane, they're going to just dodge each other out yet again. That's going to cause some confusion. The Brimstone's like, what? Where did this Omen come from? He's going to be completely blindsided now as the call is being made to go over towards A. Omen did a great opportunity here to land a huge pick here onto the Brimstone, and that will be the A site control just given over, although they're gonna, no, it's actually Freya who gets the pick, and now this is going to be a very bad push. MiTH are going to be running probably into a lot of trouble here as control of Heaven is completely secured here for Morph.
Alright, so we do
10
see
seconds
that
left.
it is going to be a smoke onto Raptors. I don't know whether or not this is going to be a very wise choice for the side of MiTH, but it seems that they're making it work somehow or another here. Another one by Newgen. Newgen right now definitely going to be taking out another. Excuse me, Patipin is going to take out onto Freya. There goes the patience onto Cut. I don't think Cut will be able to make anything work out here. May consider saving this out.
Yeah, they're going to be in some trouble here. That's exactly right. The save might be deemed necessary. 1v4, very unlikely as he continues to just lurk on through the site. They might be peeking him though, as now they're going to make the call to back up. MiTH, they as well would do well to maybe look for an exit frag, but if they can't find one, it's not really anything to sweat about it. So they're very, very happy now to get 5 rounds in a row. There's only going to be 1 rifle out on the side here of Morph, at least 1 rifle with armor, that is. So we should see probably another round here in favor of MiTH. I do actually want to give a quick shout out here as soon as the scoreboard pops up to just confirm it with myself. Let's take a look here. The Love family is indeed, oh, of course, all the names are different here. But assuming that is going to be Freya, he's really recovered here quite nicely. That is, Pu1Tap has recovered very, very nicely on the side here of MiTH. So I think they can be really happy because he had a really, really rough time there in the first half.
I think that it
in the
is
first map, sorry.
Yeah, it is going to be very tough for MiTH to come back to basically push out from that first game. It was a pretty crushing defeat from them. However, looking at the second map, we do see MiTH right now with all of the tempo and all of the lead here, and it seems that the Indonesian team is suffering by quite a bit here. May not be able to hamper quite a bit to dampen the offense that is coming in from the side of MiTH. Maybe they might be waiting out to switch on towards the side of defense. However, considering the lead that's happening for the side of MiTH, it could be bad for them here if they could let a considerable lead from the side of MiTH build up.
And like literally, MiTH could probably afford to stack 2 mid, 2 B, and just leave the Cypher all alone A. Him alone is gonna be able to delay the push enough to dissuade Morph from deciding to go for any further action, as Nugent's gonna find his second pick with the operator this round. Sets up for a defense here in the back of site, and this should again be MiTH just taking this round fairly uncontested again. I think Morph, their strategy works on all the other maps except for this one.
Yeah, it does try to work out. Oh, but Boom Barapa will be able to take down Freya here. 2 members left, and it might be a flawless round for MiTH if they keep this up. Maybe it might be another save here from the side of Morph. I think it should be wise from Cut as well as the Omen to actually just not go for it. But I think this might be an opportunity to get an exit frag from Cut.
You'll see here. The crosshairs not very well placed. Unfortunately, Cut is going to lose that rifle, and we need to make sure to evacuate the site. Fat Penguin holding down and hunkering down here rather in the mid lane. I don't think they're going to be able to scout him as the entire team gets together. The group picture there, selfie against the wall with the lighting thanks to the spike, and they're going to take now 6 rounds in a row. Very, very good stuff here from MiTH. Very strong showing.
Very strong showing indeed from the side of MiTH. Morph is definitely not adjusting themselves well towards this tempo that MiTH is actually playing it out. And I like the fact that MiTH is actually, they realized that at Haven, Morph played it very slow and MiTH kind of rushed in a little bit too haphazardly. Now the tables have turned and MiTH are playing it a little bit more aggressively, and they are trying to push the tempo against Morph on the attacking side. Oh my goodness, Fat Penguin takes 2.
That's a really good start here. He's going to teleport straight into the slow war. But no, I think a big difference is this Brimstone. I don't think the Brimstone really gets much accomplished this map. It was Cud. There we go. 3 kills here on the Thrifty round. It's going to be absolutely huge here from Morph. That'll go on full buy here for the next round, as now they should have at least 2 or 3 guns now, having taken a lot of control. Two guns, it looks like, as they're going to be able to recover the Lurker's gun from long, and maybe the Lurker's gun here from B. But it will be the call to head here over to this B site. We do have some control of Heaven here, but mostly mid lane control here for the side of Morph, so they still could be in some trouble, as the Jet's ulti will now be used to try and get into this site. But now they know.
Oh nice. Fat Penguin will be able to take down a new gen. Boom Barappa will be able to take down another one. Thrifty goes over towards Morph, and it seems that a semblance of hope has been breathed into Morph here, as they will be able to buy it out and move on to the next round. Still quite a bit of rounds for them to catch up to against MiTH, however, as MiTH already has 6 rounds in their pocket, whereas Morph only has 3 in round number 10 of this game thus far.
Yeah, it's a really good round for them as well. Famous is able to use the packs to get themselves over to those rifles a bit faster. Make sure you can exit the round with a very, very nice Vandal. Save yourself a bit of credits. So Morph now with this round have put themselves in a very, very good position here, especially if they can take this round. MiTH are pretty much going to have to concede the next round as well, unless they just somehow, the ultis aren't going to line up. Jet's already used the knife, so they won't have that one. But with this Sage ult still here currently that MiTH are holding on to, they might still be able to sneak something here, but we'll see. This is going to be a very important round, but MiTH already up to 6, and like I say, you really just need 5 on this half, especially with their lineup, with the Cypher. I think MiTH, it's too early to call here, but they're setting themselves up beautifully here for the switch. Well, we still have 2 more rounds after this one here. It's the operator shot. Is going to miss somehow so many targets, a target-rich environment, and they're going to miss too many. Now death from above now, as it is going to be the man from heaven finding a few heroes before Nugent is able to land the operator shot to the face of Cud. As Patafan, not going to find anyone there, waiting in screens. It's a 3v2 here in favor of MiTH, and they set themselves up very nicely here to hold on to the A.
A nice resurrection there coming in from the side of MiTH, if I'm not mistaken, to get back Boom Barappa, if I'm not mistaken. Or wait, I may be mistaken on who she resurrected, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was the Raze, I think, for the side of MiTH. Oh, now we do see Fidel Wow as well, getting the res on to Raze as well.
Showstopper is gonna have the map on open, but he gets the kill on the new gen there as the Hoof family sprays down 3, gets a 4K there. Could barely see it, but nice job. It's gonna secure the 7th round now.
Right, very interesting. I wonder why the map is open like this.
Well, it's good to have here in the pre-round for sure.
Yeah, but not during the whole game, that's for sure. Alright, so looking at it here, we do see a very interesting turn of events for the side of MiTH, as they were able to cinch out that round very convincingly away from Morph. And I think that there could be some problems for the side of MiTH here, for the side of Morph here, because it is going to be quite I really can't see what's going on here, actually, to be honest.
Hey, we can see the map very clearly, and luckily on a map like Split, that's how you really need to look at here.
Yeah.
You can see the wall down mid, so we have a few lurkers. The Spike actually had been in a precarious situation there, as Patafan will be able to get the kill onto the Fat Penguin here. I'm looking on our other monitor here, which seems to have the feed as Cuddy's setting up here for a very defensive position here. On board still with the Love family, with this map wide open. He's got this GPS now good to go, telling him to head straight and follow this Cypher.
Alright, so looking at Love Family now, he is going to be going up onto ropes, and it is more interestingly enough going to be heading towards a lobby. May consider that push on to A here, but it's got to be very wary that from screens it is going to be someone looking down. Oh, we do see Famous there. We'll be able to take the party plan on the kill feed. There is going to be a 3-man push, a 4-man push actually coming in, but we do see the ultimate coming in from Boom Barappa on to the side of A. So this is going to be very good. We'll be able to get that plant in onto the A side corner, closest towards screen. A back is still relatively open, as screens will have the Omen and heading towards defender spawn. A final one is going to be at mid-bottom heading towards B-Link.
Yep. We can see still on board here with the Love family, as MiTH have now gotten the plant here. They are setting themselves here very nicely. We see Cud over in B, but they're not really going to find anyone there. Just hoping to save and try and make a difference here on this final round upcoming. But 8-3, maybe even 8-4 even, is still a really big win here for the defenders on Split.
Alright, so we do see MiTH now gonna be just holding on towards what they do.
Wow,
Cud will be able to take down.
Wow, big kills. Big eco damage, and that's the operator now in the hands of Cud.
Very nicely done here. Give cut an operator. It could be a bad one. This is going to be the last round before we change it to before we change sides.
This goes here.
So I don't know about you, but this is going to be one of those situations where it's all or nothing for the side of Morph to actually try to get another one. And there, it could be... Alright, so our problems have been solved, guys. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's just, you know, we talk about this map so much. We did the map challenge earlier. We really wanted you to focus. It's like subliminal message. Remember the map.
Remember the map.
Yes. It's coming up. It's coming up. Alvaro might have us draw it for how long. It's been burned into our memories now here, Hound, as we're going to be on board still with the Love family, but Fidel now trying to hold this corner up till the wall goes the Love family, and down goes Fidel. Wow, says thank you very much for the lift, my friend. Jet looking for the killer, nearly getting sprayed down. They're lucky to not take any hits, as now it's going to be MiTH looking to try and secure this 9th round, which puts them in a very, very strong position.
All right, looking at how Morph is going to be moving around. The map is in the way again. All right, it's gone. So we do see Cut right now holding on with the operator, switching over towards Freya here. Moving towards screens, trying to get maybe a semblance of information. Not going to be getting anything at all. It's going to be a 3v3 with a bit of a rush towards B. Yep. And that could be a win here for the side of MiTH.
It could spell disaster, though. We still have this operator on great position as well by the Rays, who's going to be able to listen to any footsteps, but they're not going to trust that intel, actually. They're going to make the rotations. I do like this call, though. They're going to be sweeping the map with both of these rotations, and now they should know. Yep, the Jet now going back to B, but they've already lost crucial time, and that's time MiTH can use to set up the defense here. They will be approaching here from 2 separate angles. Make that only 1 now, as it's going to be cut up in heaven, trying to find anyone in back of sight, as there's going to be the res as well, making this a 4v2. They really want this 9th round, Hound.
They really want it, and I think that that's just going to help them a lot. They will be able to concede a few rounds, whether it's early on, but they don't want to be losing that out. Very good use of the Roomba there, just to get some information.
Boom Buddy getting sniped by Cud, who sees 3 enemies there, nearly lining up for the double. He's going to find only 1, but traded back down immediately after. 9-3, a dominant performance here by MiTH on a map like Split here, and they have set themselves up here very, very nicely to force a game number 3.
I do like what I'm seeing here for the side of MiTH. Morph is definitely struggling on this map. Hopefully 3rd map will not be that much of a case from either side, from Morph as well. Could always be very, very helpful indeed in terms of them providing a very good fight here, as we do see that that is going to be on the menu for these players here. As we approach the start of this round, what are you looking forward to here from either side of the team for Morph and MiTH? Seek.
Yeah, I mean, what I like to see here, and what we need to see from Morph, at least from MiTH, all right, what we need to see from MiTH for them to secure this is that they have to be able to dig in here. That's pretty easy to do. You can already see Cypher almost by his lonesome holding A. Since it's the pistol round, MiTH are more eager to rotate more bodies over earlier on to make sure that they don't get completely ran over in this site. As for Morph, I don't think the slow, methodical approach is really going to be working out very well for them here on this map. I think we've definitely seen this a few times before, and on Haven it can definitely work because you have that advantage. Even on the defensive side, they played nice and patiently, but here it's a whole different ball game as Fiddlewell looking for a quick pick. Look at this aggression now, building up that wall. It's going to get the a little bit of the paranoia, however, will force him back as this Sage, while slowly expiring, more going to be forced around a few times, but it will be MiTH drawing first blood here in this half. It's the classic all the way down to B main, and that might be now another pistol in the hands of MiTH, but the A push is successful here. Bomb already in the site, and Spike will be being planted, so at least Morph will be able to force the issue here a little bit. Boom Barappa rotating in and around is on to A heaven, goes the rest of the team. The classics with the crossfire, they're able to get a 1-for-1 trade though, and with MiTH having the bodies, although not for long, as Fat Penguin able to put down 2 in the span of 3 shots, or well, 3 in the span of 3 shots here, as that's just a fantastic bit of shooting out from him. It's going to be all up to him though. With the classic here, Nugent actually has a really nice advantage as long as he's able to scout out his enemy here, as we are but cutting to the replay now, but on board here with the picture-in-picture, it is going to be the Jet still able to take it, to defuse with plenty of time, as well as it will be MiTH taking this 10th round.
Very nicely done here for MiTH. 10 rounds in their pocket, and it seems that the only break in that entire cadence of dominant displays here was 3 rounds before the swap, and it was Morph that was able to get it up, and it was a thrifty. But looking at how it's going to go here, not a very good start. Not a very good round 2 here. Not a very good game 2 here for Morph. Very unfortunate indeed here, as MiTH has quite a bit of quite a bit here working for them.
Yep, indeed. As we can see that MiTH now with the anti-eco lineup, Morph are definitely in a bit of a pinch here, and more than just financially here, as they're at risk of losing the entire map, just based already on the round score. I mean, not even taking the eco into account for Morph. There we go, the bit of aggression here, full buying now, especially with the SMG here, is able to get a really, really good bit of damage in.
Alright, oh my goodness, we do see MiTH right now losing out 2 members here, but it seems that MiTH much will be able to get the pump and dump onto Morph, as we do see that it is going to be Fat Penguin that goes for the spike drop. Will it be enough though, as he does hold on towards this 2v1 situation? Mushroom now, spots it out, going to be at a back here, as one is going to go for it. It's not going to be enough. Mushroom will be able to take him down with the stinger beautifully onto Fat Penguin, and it is going to be the round for the side of MiTH.
I like this, giving even the ultimate point here over to the Sage. They know that can really be the difference maker here in one of these rounds, and MiTH, they need all of them. They can get Morph in a very, very, very bad position here economically. They went for the full buy there, so yes, they do have that 2-round loss bonus going for them, but having spent some decent amount of money, they actually don't have rifles here. So MiTH are positioned, pardon me, very, very well to get actually this nice bit of that nice and all-important 12th round, which would at least give them, oh boy, quick maths, 8 rounds straight. Yeah, of chances to at least get that additional 1. So very, very impressive stuff. They actually don't have the best eco either, having full bout and actually getting knocked down to only 2 members standing at the end of that one. So it's not really looking all that fantastic here for them either in terms of their economy. Boom Barappa though, that's a fantastic pick. And look at them, they're going to try and run away, but Cud forcing the issue there with another SMG. They are able to trade, so it's still going to be a 4 versus 3 in favor of MiTH, as they still look to hold on to the site. A little bit of an explosive pack launched on in, as Cud will glance over at that, just kind of, but ignoring it, but as New Jet spraying through the smoke, picks up the kill onto the enemy Jet. That Penguin here only with a classic. They're trying to look forward. The call has been made to get the Cypher into sight, but it's going to be a 1 versus 3, and that 12th round and a 3K going the way here of MiTH.
New Gen making in some work here. Very unfortunate for the side of Morph to actually push into that little hot spot and to go into a B garage, and I think that was just a determining factor here. Walking straight into the blades of the blender was definitely Morph here. Now, final round, MiTH as well as Morph, both of them going to be buying out full loadouts here across the board. Very healthy economy for the side of MiTH. Even if they lose out, like you said, they will have quite a bit of rounds to work with. Morph, however, slowly building up the economy, but it is all or nothing here. Quite a bit, as they have 9 flawless rounds for them to consider. Morph cut right now in a very hard spot, has to crawl towards the mail room here, but nothing is going to be punished. We do see smokes from the side of Morph being dropped down on to a mail room, as well as a mid onto ropes. I think that's going to not be that much of an issue, but Famous right now getting into a fight with MiTH. Patiban.
And this is like a really difficult situation. Morph find themselves in. Oh, nice job there to cross, slowed down and lit up, but still alive. There is Cud. Will actually get the kill here onto MiTH. That should make make that B a lot easier to take. There is still actually a Sage still holding here in a very, very peculiar situation, but Fidel Wow is able to pick him off, and a very, very nice entrance into the B site. Beautifully done here by Morph. That will be their 4th round here for them. Unfortunately, as I was saying, MiTH are still going to have plenty of money to play with here. They're going to have enough for a full rebuy, and even maybe they can actually afford to save to make sure they can get even more rounds in a row. Stack up that loss bonus just to make sure they're capped for their eco. Like I said, it's we're out of the group stage, so the round difference bonus doesn't matter anymore. It's all about getting this win. Are you really willing to give up maybe 2 rounds now? Probably not. I think if you're MiTH, you just want to get it over with and full buy here, but something to consider here as we will be saving on the Cypher.
Right. Rather interesting to note that Morph right now is going to be able to get this round, but still 8 rounds flawlessly. Morph has got to play it like that every round now, you know, has got to make sure that everything works for them in the best way possible. We do see that Morph has been able to secure at least 5 members still on their team. No one was lost in those exchanges for Morph, as MiTH right now definitely going to be put in one of those situations where, yeah, they're not going to be losing out that many, but I don't think they're going to, are they going to go for that full buy here? Maybe yes, maybe no.
Yeah, it looks like they're, I don't know. It's an interesting call, I'm not gonna lie, but the 2 Buckies I'm a big fan of. Obviously, I don't even need to say it anymore, but it's kind of a forced situation here, so I don't know if I necessarily agree with this, but they will at least have that round bonus to work with.
Yeah, I hope that they will be able to actually cinch this out, but Patipa now opens up onto Freya. This is going to be a very interesting turn of events, Seek.
Yeah, Morph is already into A, though they just were able to find the Lurker. A 4v4 scenario now as Cud is able to trade 1 away. MiTH, they don't have the best weapons here to contend with this, but they do have the knives, at the very least, of our Sage to try and dispatch of this push.
Alright, as we're going to be seeing it here, going to be one of those fights between these 2 teams. It's going to be 4v4, 12 rounds in. Oh my goodness, New Gen onto 1, but it's not going to be enough at Penguin. We will take him down. Partipan with the showstopper onto Fidel. Wow, Famous taking down Mushroom. This is going to not be enough for the side of MiTH. Another round goes over to Morph.
That would have been amazing had they gotten that round, mostly because of the usage of that raise. That was amazing. That was some Quake-like stuff right there. Just using the rocket jump there, getting into the site, finding the kill onto the man in the corner. And again, I don't agree with the call here. MiTH, they're going for like another force buy. I don't think this is necessary. They can lose. They can afford to lose at least 1 round. And I don't know why they're forcing the issue so much here. Do you see a different reason? Okay, I think they're just doing it to please me here with the 3 Buckies, so now I have to be in favor of it. But be the contrarian here. Yell at me. Why is this a bad idea?
Okay, now basically for the side of MiTH, excuse me, it definitely is going to be bad. Why? Because it doesn't allow them to basically. Oh, wait a minute. Famous took down Boom Burapa. Yeah. Okay, so looking at how that actually transpires here, in the sense that it doesn't allow for some of these long-range, mid-range shots, right? They have to fight out all of these fights in a sense that Morph cannot. Morph will not actually want to be close towards members of MiTH. Wait a minute, New Gen actually was aimed towards Morph.
Oh, they know that there's an operator here. You saw him. New Gen's like, I want this so bad, but I have no idea where they actually are located here. Hiding in that corner. Does not wanting to peek towards mid. Does not want to swing out. He knows that there's plenty of enemy agents. Well, at least 2 here, but he's going to maybe now get some information that they are trickling away. Going to try towards B instead after getting the opening pick. The Sage Wall shortly to time out as Freya will now call in the smokes. They're going to make a fake push here, trying to draw out 1, but New Gen, he's smarter than that. He's like, no, that's a bait. He's like, I can go in a bit later as Mushroom. He's going to at least hear 1, at least 2 now. Another Sage Wall going up here from Morph. It's going to force Cut along the or forced to take this more scenic route here through the site. Oh, he could be in some trouble, but actually the Sage just not peeked. They might not know the Sage is here, Hound.
Exactly, and that's the thing that I feel that's going to be very interesting, be very good. Oh no! Come on, get him! Cut gets 2 onto Mushroom, onto New Gen, tries to get another one. Love Family will take him down, and there goes Fat Penguin onto Patipan, and it's going to be a 1v4 fight. Morph coming back into this fight.
Yeah, I don't know. I think MiTH is, I don't want to say they're playing with them here, but the double Bucky strat there is definitely a little bit questionable. Nice shot there from the Love family. He can actually get some really serious eco damage going. That's going to be a 3k for him. He will not get the 4k. Famous instead getting credited with the kill there to end the round. But yeah, that's a bit disappointing. These guys need to work on their Bucky gameplay. I mean, listen, I can't praise the decision to buy Buckies and then say it's okay to miss those shots. You have to hit those. I mean, come on, guys. That's like, you know, 30 minutes in deathmatch, just having some fun, trolling with your mates, practicing with that Bucky. You gotta get those kills there. A bit disappointed to see him die to the Classic, I'm not gonna lie. But MiTH, I think they still have this one in the bag. 6-12 here, and they're gonna get the Operator now up for New Gen.
All right, now looking at how this is going to be working out for members of Morph here, they do have to force this out onto MiTH, and I do believe that this is going to be one of the of those games. They're almost getting it from New Gen onto the side of Morph. Luckily enough, it wasn't going to be the case for the side of Morph. I've always enjoyed the fact that we could actually go into a game number 3. Yeah. However, looking at how this is working out here, Morph may actually say, we don't want to go into game.
I think it's still a little too early to call it. I don't want to
but they're working it out though.
But here's the thing, right? Morph, it's a full buy from them every round. They got good eco. I mean, obviously, if they lose a round, that's it. The game's over. So their eco doesn't really matter. They're just looking to full buy 24/7. But the thing that is relevant is they do have 4 ults available here at the moment, right? So I think MiTH would do well to try and bait a few of these out. Because even if you lose a round, but you get 2 or even 3 ults, or even just the Sage res out from the side of Morph, that makes that 13th round so much easier to take. Even if you are going to be ill-equipped, you just can't let them get that ults charges off again. So that could be the difference maker here, right? That is going to be something to take into consideration. Yes, your eco, but also your spell availability here, if we can call it that.
Okay.
In they go. They're using 2 of them here, actually voluntarily. Maybe in a third, the rocket fuse is not going to be able to last long enough for him to find a kill, smoking off, but they still have 1 insight. It's the Omen lurking around. They're going to be here in the bomb being planted. Boom Barap getting 1, the spike getting dropped. Fat Penguin, he came here to do one thing, and that's to plant that bomb, and he is going to get that one done, but unfortunately now the defuse, no one can actually really afford to stop this one. The enemies might be revealed, but it's not going to matter. They're going to be able to stick that one. Boom Barappa gets the 3 kills and the defuse to clutch the game, clutch the round, that is, for MiTH. We're going to map number 3.
Well, game 3 is real indeed, Twitch chat. I don't know about you guys, but it seems that the Thais as well as the Indonesian teams are saying we don't want to go 2-0 either way. We want to go into our 3rd map. They love playing Valorant, and they love the idea of competing against one another. It has been very competitive across games number 1, but not as competitive as game number 2. However, coming in from the side of Morph onto MiTH, I think the 3rd game is going to be the determining factor here.
Yeah, I have to question, I think, the decision by Morph, make that by Morph, actually, to run the Brimstone. I think everything else in the draft is totally fine. You can get away with, but the Brimstone rather than a Cypher, I would even probably take a Sova. I just don't think this is particularly a map that really suits Brimstone's playstyle. Maybe he meant to click on Breach but got confused. I don't really know. But a very nice recovery, regardless from MiTH. They didn't really look too hot in that last map. Morph very, very slowly walked all over them. It wasn't really that fast, right? But a nice recovery from MiTH, as well as the Love family here on the Cypher. As you recall, last time he was mirrored in terms of his kill board, or his leaderboard placement here on the scoreboard. He was back down where Mush Tomb is, which, of course, when you're on a Sova, you need to play much more defensively, so that's not a slight at him. But a nice recovery here, and that just goes to show you why the Cypher is so powerful on this map.
And what do you think is going to be the adjustment that needs to be made for the side of Morph here, moving forward for game number 3, going up against MiTH? Because MiTH were able to push the pace against members of Morph, and I felt that a lot of these exchanges that were basically started out by MiTH, forcing members of Morph into situations that they should not have taken. They shouldn't have fought into.
Yeah, that's certainly the case. In terms of what we're going to see maybe be different here by Morph, I think either map remaining here, which we haven't seen Ascent yet, and we haven't seen
Bind.
Bind, correct.
Yeah.
Both of these maps, I think, are going to suit their generally slow play style. Bind less so, but I think maybe they're itching for Bind because of this Brimstone pick. Brimstone, does absolutely amazing on Bind. It's his bread and butter, especially on attack, on defense. There's the 3 smoke setup to get the plants onto A very quickly. So I think maybe this just isn't their map. I mean, it has to do something, I think, with their agent choice as well, because they did not hold up in the defensive half here on split, and that generally is a big issue. And I don't think it's a mismatch between the two teams, because we did still see Morph still outgun MiTH in some rounds, right? We saw MiTH miss a few shots, especially with the Buckies. I joke about that, but I mean, it's a shotgun. How are you going to miss that many shots, right? So it was, I don't think it's that scenario. Plus, of course, Morph taking map number 1 overall. So I think maybe it's just that maybe the map could be the agent lineup, not really suiting their play style here. So I think maybe they just need to reset. They need to play their game. I think that is the way they can get maybe even take now the win, as we are going to be going to map number 3.
I'm pretty interested to see whether or not Morph is... This is just a case study for Morph having a very weak split, right? Maybe it could be the case. Sometimes it just could be the map that just throws them off.
Yeah.
And hopefully this isn't going to be the case, and Haven is not just the exception to the rule, I suppose, right?
No, I don't know. You know, it's really interesting that you say that, because the Morph we saw yesterday, they were the only ones actually out of Group D equals Group Draw to actually win a match, right? Brent Esports, which we'll see in our next match, so wait around a little bit longer if you're hoping to see them. They actually got through 0-3-0, so they drew every single match and actually got in. So I'd be interested to see, maybe Morph just is still used to this Group D play style of taking it nice and slow, playing for the draw, playing for the retakes, but I think they definitely need to adjust a little bit more to their opponents, adjust a little bit more to the map, and they should be finding some success here.
I think that should be enough from us. We're going to take a short little break. Over to the analyst. This is MiHound. He is Seek and Strike. I don't know about you guys, but there's so much more at stake here. Who's going to come out on top? Team Indonesia or Team Thailand? Stay tuned to find out.